This is my foot, or what's left of it anyways. I broke it 10 days ago at Otakon doing karaoke of all things.
I may have hurt my foot.
After walking on it for days before realizing that I should probably go to the hospital, I had it put into a splint and then put into an even bigger splint while I wait to go in for surgery. Now you would think that since I work from home and barely ever get out of the house unless I'm going to buy a pretzel pub chicken sandwich, that maybe having a broken foot wouldn't be that big of a deal. You would be wrong. Not being able to walk on this leg fucking sucks. I can't even get to the bathroom without hurting myself, much less get around the house. And so in one of many efforts to stave off the horrible depression that comes from not being able to do anything, I've turned to anime to try to find some characters and scenes that I can relate to now that I've got this broken foot. Number 1. Techno-Li. The main character from Techno-Li is Ichise, a boxer who is told by the mafia to throw his big match, but ends up killing his opponent and winning the match instead, similar to Butch from Pulp Fiction. Unlike Butch, however, Ichise is caught by the mafia and has his arm and leg chopped off in the first episode. After that, he spends 2 grueling episodes crawling around in the gutters, basically dying in the middle of the city where no one gives a fuck about him. Among the most iconic images from the series of episodes is of Ichise struggling to climb this flight of stairs, just feeling pissed off and hopeless as his energy drains out of him. Personally, my room is at the top of a steep flight of stairs, so every time I want to go up to my room in order to edit one of these videos, or come back down to get something to eat or hang out with my brothers, I have to go up and down these wooden stairs. At least one time I did this while drunk, tired, and out of energy and nearly passed out right in the middle, just like Ichise. Honestly, if I had to do this with one arm and without a rail for support, I'd just have someone bring all my shit downstairs for the next 12 weeks. Number 2. Fullmetal Alchemist. Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist sacrificed an arm and a leg in order to bind his brother's soul to a suit of armor after trying to resurrect their dead mother. I sacrificed my foot in order to help my brother put on the most energetic performance of the Log Horizon opening theme possible. Both of these are cases of pure intentions gone horribly awry. You might say that Edward Elric was a lot worse off than I was, having lost 2 entire limbs, but since Ed's best friend was an Automail expert, he got to replace them with cool looking metal limbs almost immediately. Meanwhile, I'm stuck hopping around on this thing for 3 fucking months. Number 3. Montana Jones. I have no idea what the fuck Montana Jones is. Apparently it's like a weird Japanese furry version of Indiana Jones? What I do know is that this thing wrapped around my foot is called a Jones, and it's about the size of Montana. For you non-Americans wondering what the hell a Montana is, it's what they used to call the really big sandwiches at Arby's. For those of you wondering what Arby's is, it's why us Americans have to travel around in wheelchairs even when we haven't broken a foot. Number 4. Ghost in the Shell. I may be suffering for it now, but at the time of my injury, I was determined to go as hard as possible. Even after breaking my foot, I kept jumping around and singing like a madman until the performance was done. Similarly, Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell will readily push her body beyond the capabilities of her limbs in order to go as hard as possible. Of course, she's a cyborg who feels no pain, who can have those limbs replaced instantly, whereas I'm trapped in this cast. Come to think of it, all of the shows I've talked about have characters who get robotic limbs within a few days of their injuries. In fact, I can't think of a single case where a main character loses a limb and doesn't have it either regrown or replaced in short order. Actually, from what I understand, I am going to have a metal plate and several screws put into my 5th metatarsal in order to straighten it out. I'll be just like one of my Japanese animes! Number 5. Psychopaths. In the world of psychopaths, everyone is constantly psychologically monitored to make sure no one loses their fucking mind. As people have less and less stress in their lives, they also find stress harder and harder to deal with, meaning that anytime someone is put through a stressful situation, they are advised to seek psychiatric care immediately in order to make sure that they remain totally stable. After a day or 2 of immobility, I really started to feel the stress weighing down on me, realizing just how difficult it is to get around without injuring myself, given that I'm already a clumsy fuck to begin with, and not being able to get up from my chair and move around easily was incredibly frustrating. Knowing that all the working out I did these last few months will go by the wayside, and that I'll probably put on weight again, and probably spend a bunch of money on medical bills and not really be able to shower easily, all of that was a lot of weight to shoulder at once. And so I started cranking out analysis videos. Just as Tsunemori Akane from Psychopaths is miraculously able to keep her head together no matter what kind of crazy things happen to her, I've been able to keep my head on straight just by doing the thing I'm passionate about trying to make progress in my career and just pumping out videos, you know, to feel better about myself. And just as well, you viewers who support me through kind and insightful comments, or who support me through Patreon or PayPal, you really help to take this giant weight off of my foot. Having said that, surgery is fucking terrifying, so let's hope it goes okay.